Greetings and welcome to the Transform Podcast. This is episode 38. It is Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022, and I'm your host, Christopher Anastasio, and welcome back, guys. Hope everybody had a great 2/22/22. I know that was quite a novelty yesterday that we had a date like that. So just saw everybody kind of making a big deal out of it online and on different social media platforms, so I figured I'd give it a shout there. So what we're going to talk about today, guys, is something that we haven't talked directly about on the podcast. There's no episode in the previous 37 episodes about this subject. I know I've mentioned it most likely in some of the other episodes where I talk about the importance of video content and why you guys want to think about doing video content and things of that nature. But we have not produced an episode that just really laser focused in on today's topic. And today's topic is about going live on the social media platform of your choice, which really translates to the primary social media platform that you utilize for your business. Even if you're on every one of them, there's probably a core major sort of a platform that you really invest the most time into, or you know it the best. You have the most acumen on that platform, and so that is kind of what I'm referring to. Okay, so it's like, why live? Why would you consider it? Why is it an important part of the strategy from a video perspective? And then how do you kind of say, okay, well, where am I going to go live? Like, how do you answer that question? And that's kind of what we want to tackle today. Actually, I've planned, the more I dug into this subject and thought about it and did some preparation for today's episode, the more I realized this is a multi-part kind of thing. I mean, this is something we're going to be returning to on numerous occasions to address it from different angles. But I think because we don't have an episode so far, the best thing we could do today is to say, okay, why? Why live? Why is it important? Why should you consider it? And how do you figure out where to do it? And let's just start there, okay? And let's lay some groundwork and let you guys kind of think through that a little bit and react to that. And then, like I said, future episodes will get a little bit more tactical, a little bit more nitty-gritty, and that sort of thing, okay? So let's talk a little bit. I got to apologize, guys. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a little bit of congestion from who knows what, probably allergies, but definitely not sickness. So I definitely apologize if the voice sounds a little different as I'm talking to you guys here today. So why live? Why should you consider taking your business from an online, digital marketing, social media marketing perspective and building in live stream content? And the answer, there's a few different answers to that, okay? One of the reasons that you should consider adding live to your video content or your overall content strategy is the perception of your brand that you are going to establish by showing that you are willing to get in front of or behind a video camera, get in front of, a video camera and turn on access real time to an audience where your credibility and your authority can be tested and can be showcased in real time. Okay? And so inherent to that is the risk-taking and the bold nature of going live on a social media platform. I mean, if you're live on a social media platform, let me tell you right now, and you have an engaged, interested audience, okay, I'm not talking about trolls who are, doing, who are just out there to blow up other people's content. I mean, like, people who are really into that subject. They want to be part of your live stream. They're in your live stream, and they are basically asking you questions and challenging you in front of an audience of X number of people, and you have to respond and be nimble and be agile in real time. Okay, so there's a brand perception that sort of overlays all that, and it basically shows that you have some measure of authority and credibility to even be out there doing a live stream and opening yourself up in a live stream. Okay? So it's hugely, hugely impactful, I believe, personally. I mean, from consuming live streams and seeing maybe lost opportunities in other instances, it's just such a important way to be able to come forward and say, I know what I'm talking about, and you ought to listen to me. Okay? So that's kind of part of why you should look at a live strategy. I think, the speed at which business moves now, so I kind of move into another reasoning here. The speed at which business moves these days, the way that there's just almost this like instantaneous, this instantaneous feedback loop for businesses online, where a mistake at 11 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday can drag the business down by 11:02 a.m. on Tuesday after 120 seconds worth of online commentary and so forth come out against that business, right? So in an eye blink, businesses can really hit the skids, right? From a digital and social media perspective. So I think that when you have your live strategy and you are showing that you are willing to be on the cutting edge of real-time developments and, I guess, for lack of a better word, the action in your industry, it just, again, it projects authority, and it projects sort of of course we're a leader in this industry. Of course we're a recognized brand in this industry. We are out here real time, giving feedback, getting into the news flow on a particular item, let's say, that affects that industry, whatever the case might be. So just being part of that real time action dynamic is part of why a live strategy can be so important. Okay. Now, another reason that you guys want to think about live streams is that we've talked sort of ad nauseum on this podcast about video content and how important video content is, and how you can take video and turn it into audio, and you can take the audio and turn it into text, blah blah blah. So we've gone into a lot of stuff about video, but when you look at live video and the difference in engagement, I'm going to read you some statistics that are specific to LinkedIn, but I think it's a good example for you to digest in this regard. When you see some of these statistics on the type of engagement, the intensity of engagement that rises from pre-recorded video to live video, you will be able to tell right away, if you know anything about digital social media marketing, why that's going to be so beneficial from the standpoint of organic reach on the platform. The platform rewarding you with more views and more organic coverage, right? You're going to be rewarded with those outcomes for having an engaged audience that's really putting in the time and the effort to engage with your content. So let's take a look at some of these statistics, guys. It's actually kind of mind-boggling in a way when you think of how high some of these numbers are. So comparing the comments on LinkedIn live streams versus native video, how many more comments on LinkedIn Live versus native video? It's 24 times. That's unbelievable. That means if you have a pre-recorded native video that got one comment, on average, an equivalent live stream video would get you 24 comments. So that's just a staggeringly high number, staggeringly high. And so, of course, so many comments coming onto the live stream video means LinkedIn's going to take notice. They see, like, oh, people are engaging with this content. They're making comments, they're responding to each other, they're replying, this, that, the other thing. I mean, they're really going to see the activity, and they're going to reward you for it from an organic reach perspective. Okay, let's take a look at this. LinkedIn live streams versus native video for reactions. 7 times more reactions. So the first one, it was actual comments. It was people actually typing comments in to respond to the content, but in this case, it's reactions. So in LinkedIn, you have basically, you can like something, you can clap and celebrate it, you can love it with a heart. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about reactions. Okay. So, and then just look at this statistic. If you poll small business owners, okay, or business owners, 73% of B2B marketers say that video positively impacts the marketing return on investment. Okay, so that's pretty high. We're talking about 3 in every 4 business owners are going to feel this way about doing video content in general. Okay, so that's just to give you guys a sampling of the kind of change you can see in organic reach and the engagement that kind of drives that. The live streams simply get more engagement, and there's just no two ways about that. Okay, there's just no two ways about it. So I think, just recapping so far, we have going live for the sort of bold, risk-taking brand perception lift that you're going to get out of that. We also talked about how getting into the real-time flow of the action in your industry and just showing you're right out at the front lines by going live and putting yourself out there that way, that you really are relevant and up to date and right on that bleeding edge of what's going on in the industry and in your business segment. And then we also talked about, thirdly, just the fact that you're going to get more reach, you're going to get more reward from the platform's algorithm, more than likely, much more than likely, because you're going on live streams, you're not just pre-recording video content, and hence you're driving more of these engagements, and those engagements are equaling more organic reach, and so on and so forth. Okay. The fourth reason I'll mention, we'll move on to the next part of the podcast, is that the nice thing about doing a live stream video is when the live stream video is over, now you got yourself a video, right? So you kind of like end up doing both by doing the first one, right? As I was contrasting some of these statistics to you about, you get this many more comments, this many more reactions, and that's all well and good. But it's just nice knowing that when you go into a live stream, you're going to come out with pre-recorded video content, right? And you're going to be able to say, like, okay, I just did a live stream. I got all the positive effects from doing that live stream. Now I have this 22-minute video that I just put together for the live stream. I've got a recording of it, and now I can take that recording and I can go ahead and do lots of stuff with it. I can take that recording and I can break it into a multi-part series and release it in pieces. I can strip out audio from it and do things with the audio that I want to do, whether it's a podcast or whatever. Turn it into text somehow. So the bottom line is, when you do a live stream, you're kind of helping yourself become more efficient from a social media content production standpoint. It's not like you're going live on Monday, then you got to set aside time on Tuesday to record a video. It's like, no, you've already got the video. You got the video from doing the live stream, and now you walk away with sort of that parting gift that you can really get some mileage out of. Okay, so that's kind of on the why live, the whole thing. Let's kind of wrap up here, guys, by talking about, well, how do I know where to go live? It's like, hey, Chris, I can go live everywhere. You can go live on YouTube, I can go live on Facebook, I can go live on Instagram, I can go live on LinkedIn. Like, where should I go? And I think ultimately, you guys know the right answer is you go where your audience is, that is contextually tied into your product or service. Okay, that has a real need and has shown a real desire for that product, and there's an audience segment there. Look and see where that audience is. Now, again, it doesn't mean you're never going to go live anywhere else. It just means if you're trying to start off, without having too much to chew on, I would say I would say, pick the one that's your primary, the social media platform that you really have the strongest connection to your audience on, and start by going live there. And that's where you're going to work out some kinks, and that's where you're going to have, the best positive impact in the least amount of time. But keep in mind that, yes, you may end up going live on some of the other platforms at some point as well. Okay, so don't rule it out, but look for opportunities, look for a way to make sure that you're really using the core social media platform for your business to the best effect. Okay, so that's really the high-level overarching guidance. This really isn't going to be prescriptive, guys. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what works best for your business. I will say this. I think that if you are doing a lot of B2B marketing and you're selling to businesses and you are in a little bit more of a formal mode, in terms of the way you interact with those businesses, then the answer for you is pretty clear, and you should be doing your lives on LinkedIn. Okay, but let's say you sell a product. Let's say it's kind of whimsical. Let's say you've built humorous campaigns around it and things like that. And let's just call it Instagram for a second. Let's say Instagram has really become your premier platform. Let's say because again you're selling a product. Let's say you're selling an e-commerce product and you have this beautiful Instagram account. You're really crushing things on that Instagram account. I would then say, okay, go live there. Go live on Instagram. And start building from there. Okay. If you have, let's say, a service-based business and it's a little bit more middle of the road in terms of, it's a little bit more middle of the road, like audience-wise, age-wise, activity-wise, things like that. Facebook may be the perfect place for you to go live. It's still a behemoth social media platform that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So yes, there's absolutely a case to be made that you can be going live on Facebook. Okay, so what we'll probably end up doing is, as we continue to explore the viability of going live on these platforms, you're going to get more information out of us in those particular podcast episodes. We'll go more tactical and we'll get more granular and all that kind of stuff. What I really want to focus on today, guys, as we head for the 20-minute mark here, is to just emphasize why you should consider going live, what the benefits are, what you're going to get from it, and then, turning your attention from there to picking the right platform to be on. And I think, the big three that are going to be 99% of where people go live, it's Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Could be some YouTube in there, okay? I mean, there's definitely the option to go live on YouTube, so that's a possibility. I still feel like YouTube is a little bit behind the other ones because I feel like YouTube is very much geared towards learning, and although that could really fit a live stream format, I think that people look at YouTube as a library, if you will, of pre-recorded content that they can sit there and they can rewind it and they can restart it and they can go back and they can learn this and learn that. You know what I mean? Like I think when you think about people watching YouTube videos, that's usually what they're going there for. But again, it is a possibility for your business to to go live on YouTube. So you can't rule that one out. But these are just some of the major ones. I mean, I think again, you have to look closely at your business. You have to tailor, to the business, where you think the audience is, and then you start experimenting. I mean, you just start doing live streams there, and you see how they go, and you see if maybe you can expand onto other platforms. Maybe you have an audience that's willing to do that. And see you on other platforms as well when you live stream. So this is just some of the very, very preliminary, high-level stuff that I think you guys have to think about when it comes to going live and creating that kind of video content and getting that kind of repurposing opportunity from doing so. So I think it's just really something that you guys have to get serious about. You have to really think to yourself, like, how do I make sure that I'm getting some juice out of this? If I'm on one of these platforms, let's say LinkedIn, and I'm doing video and I'm doing audio and I'm doing text, that's great. Those are the three major types of content that you do want to do. But I think that you can say, like, okay, let's get a fresh angle in here and let's do more than just pre-recorded videos. Let's do some live. Let's test things out. Let's see what people are asking us. Let's see what people's main concern is. Let's show other people on the live stream how responsive we are to questions and to commentary on our product or service. And there's no hiding. When you go live, you can't hide from any of that. So it just really gives you an opportunity to showcase how, just how strong you are in that area and how you might deal with, let's say, a disgruntled or upset customer or client. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Looking forward to your feedback on this episode. I know a lot of people, it's like, hey, I can't even make video content pre-recorded, much less go live. Like, I know this is a big deal. I know this is something that you guys, potentially have struggled with. I fall into the same category with it as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it's something that it's a hump you have to get over. It's a mindset thing that you have to find a way to get over. And then once you get over it, you're going to really start to see the benefits. Okay. So anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you for listening to episode 38 of the Transform podcast. Super excited to have had you here. Check us out on Facebook and LinkedIn under Transform. Go to the website, transform.com. Like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast. We can't thank you guys enough for doing that. So look out for more episodes on live video. Look out for episode 39 later this week. Definitely be published by Friday. Okay? So thanks again for listening, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Super, super appreciate your support. And we will talk to you guys again soon. And have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.